What's going on, everybody? Welcome to THS Wrestling Presents That Wrestling Show. We hope you enjoyed NXT New Year's Evil.
Evil.
Evil. We have a new NXT champion, and who knows? We'll talk a little bit about that. Thomas, what's going on? Kat, what's going on? My name is John. I hope everybody happy New Year. Yes, thank you, Thomas. Hope everyone had a happy New Year and a happy holidays. And boy, oh boy, do we got a lot to talk about today. But before we get to that, I am joined by my good friend Neeson. Neeson, hello.
I like to be referred to as Evil Neeson from now on.
Evil Neeson, my
Evil
God.
Neeson. That is me for now on. How you doing, man? How you doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yep. Is that a ticket? Is that a fine?
I don't know. I don't know what this was. I just picked it up. I was gonna move it over, and I'm like, well, it's live. We're live, pal.
We're live, pal.
We're fine. Also, Powerline, Thunder, Love and Thunder. A whole lot of lightning going on over here. Little lightning and thunder.
Yeah.
You know,
Jimmy, how you doing, man?
Doing good. Good to be back, guys. Sorry I missed the year-end special, but, extenuating circumstances.
It happens. It happens.
It's happened to half the people I know, I guess.
Yeah.
Just miss me dying through it. It's fine. just slowly crumbling into a ball.
Oh, you can see it. It's a
see
sight to behold. Everyone that has not gone and watched our year-end review, go check out youtube.com/that#show.
Go watch me slowly just turn into a pile of mucus.
Honestly, while we were recording it, I had no idea. I think you did it
over.
Yeah. I had no idea. But yeah, make sure you go check that out on the YouTube page. But guys, we've got a bunch to talk about, and I guess we will kick it off by talking a little bit about New Year's Evil. We have a new NXT champion he kicked the X. I saw it. He kicked it. Marking the end of the black and gold. Marking the end of the black and gold brand forever. Braun double B.
Double B, double R, double E, double A, double K, double E, double R.
Oh, that's another thing that happened this week that we didn't even mention. But Braun Breaker is our new NXT champion. Did we see this coming from a mile away, or are we surprised? What are we thinking? It literally just happened 4 minutes ago.
I mean, yeah, come on. We seen it coming. It was all the telltales. They're definitely getting rid of all the old NXT. Everything from NXT Black and Gold is basically being just destroyed. Literally, he destroyed the X. He was like, yeah. So he did the old Cody Rhodes sledgehammer to the throne. Instead he just kicked it because he doesn't need a hammer because he's Braun Breaker, baby. Yeah, we all seen it, and it doesn't surprise me. It's interesting to see where it's gonna go because literally we're back at Hulu NXT. We're back at main roster talent coming in, integrating with the talent we have now, and hopefully, my thing is, I want to see a Chase U fill out a 20,000 seat arena. I want to see that at a takeover. I can't wait to hear Chase U marching band theme and him come out and say this is a teachable moment in front of 20,000 people. I'm all for it, man.
That'd be great if NXT was doing arena shows ever again, but
okay. All right. Let's have some faith. Okay?
Something to aim for in 2022. The return of takeovers to arenas.
That's all. It took a while for Hulu to get there.
That's what it feels like it's missing, right?
E for everyone. Yeah, exactly.
Straight up the E
for everyone.
For everyone. No shock with Braun winning. The 2.0 era is officially here now, for better or worse. Now, do we think it's for better? Oh, guys, breaking news. Rick Steiner was in the audience. My goodness. He is in the ring celebrating with his son. his
That's
last
dope.
name is not the same as his.
Wait. What do you mean his son? His last name is Breaker.
That's what I said. They have different last
We
names.
can't acknowledge this. We can't acknowledge that the fact that he has prior history because last names McGillicuddy.
They have been acknowledging that he is Rick Steiner's son from the get-go, and I love it. Even though I love Rex Steiner as I feel like Rex Steiner is a championship name, but Braun Breaker really grew on me. Good old Braun. I think Brawny Braun, BB.
Braun.
Yeah, I like that Braun. I like it. And also he's there for a good time, not a long time, guys. So please take heed. Take heed.
And Ciampa going up to Rick Steiner after the match and shaking his hand. There you go.
Is Ciampa going to the main roster, or is Ciampa going to stay down there, or is Ciampa saying bye?
I think that's a really good question. I would love to hear what chat thinks about that. But for me personally, what left is there for him to do there? They either got to move him up or he's got to move on, in my opinion.
Or he becomes a producer and calls it quits after that.
That too. He could also do that.
I think that's probably, if I had to put some money on it, it would be him being a producer down in NXT. Him saying, not him saying bye. Like,
now they're hit. He's hidden. He's hidden.
Yes, he's hidden. Okay, he's hidden behind. He's hidden behind good old, formerly known as Peter Parker, Spider-Man behind
who?
here, okay?
I don't know who that is. What?
Fair.
Who?
I don't know.
Got him. Working the gimmick, brothers. Working the gimmick forever. My goodness. Anything else from New Year's Evil that we were surprised by? Anything else we would like to mention?
I was surprised until I saw her come in on a goddamn helicopter like Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 32. I was like, oh, yeah, she's definitely winning. The same thing that happened with Charlotte Flair coming in with a helicopter. You can't have your champion come in with a helicopter and not win. I mean, unless it's WrestleMania 34 or New York when, she came in on a helicopter. She lost to Becky. But that's neither here nor there. I was definitely surprised that Cora Jade did not come with the title. I thought this was her time. I thought they were going to really go with her. She has Paige, AJ. If AJ and Paige had a baby, it will be
and Bailey.
Go on.
I wouldn't even say Bailey because she doesn't act like the super fan or anything like that. Like she really has she's young and the charismatic charisma as Paige, but then she also has the flexibility and in-ring slight movement as AJ. It's those two mesh, man. If they had a skater kid, it'd be Cora Jade. I thought she was gonna walk out with the title myself.
Yeah, I shout out to my buddy Kyle Lewis who said the women in that match each basically had a created entrance from SmackDown Here Comes the Pain.
This is very true.
Love it.
This is
Absolutely
very true.
Love it. Are we surprised that who won the unification match? Did we think old Roddy would no? I'm not. I mean,
you thought Roddy was gonna win?
No, I'm saying I'm not surprised at
I'm not surprised. Again,
I wanted Roddy to win, but I would have been way more surprised if he actually did win.
Yeah,
if he actually won, yeah. Again, does Roddy, I think, come on, you have to take Diamond Mine to SmackDown, right? Like, I think Malcolm Bivens on the microphone is money. And one thing that Raw has proven, I mean, not even Raw, but Heyman, MVP, it's money and managers right now. And if you have a faction with Malcolm Bivens, that faction is going to get over no matter what.
Yeah. No
matter if you like Roger Strong or not. I mean, the Creed brothers are a legit tag team, and I want to see them on the main roster.
I think they might go for the tag titles next.
Yeah,
yes?
they're going for the
Dusty Classic.
Right.
Yeah.
Dusty Classic, yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see. I assume Diamond Mine is not yet done, but hey, I mean, Diamond Mine is a faction, a stable. They could, I mean, and Malcolm Bivens is the man. He could go wherever he wants.
He go wherever he wants.
Goes wherever he wants.
Have Malcolm Bivens manage Big E.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Oh my God.
But I want Malcolm. You know what? I'm just gonna say that for my hashtag. Just continue.
All right.
And
okay.
then,
all right.
you know, yeah. And then Malcolm Bivens just starts calling himself Big M. Like, and no one acknowledges it but him.
It's gonna be my hashtag of the week.
I love it. I love it. All right. So let's move on to main roster shenanigans. We had the day one event has come and gone, and we're going to talk about Roman in a bit, but we have to mention him because this happened. Roman had contracted COVID. He wasn't going to be at the event. They added Brock to the WWE Championship match, which I thought was interesting instead of just maybe stripping Roman of the title, but I don't think he's going to be gone for as long as maybe I think he's going to be gone.
They're already teasing him for SmackDown.
Yeah, I think he's going to be there. He's
really
Friday. Yeah.
Was it just protocols, or did he legitimately?
He tested positive, but
Okay.
I think now, with this Omarion variant, as you know, like it could run through you pretty fast, and if you test negative enough, then all well is in well. But again, I said this in our chat. There was rumors that he was the one that tested positive earlier in the week, and so that was like they kept trying to test him. I think he just didn't clear protocol by day one. So I think definitely, if it was the max 2 weeks, because remember there was no SmackDown New Year's Eve. There was no SmackDown that week, and he didn't work any of those live events. So.
Interesting. Okay.
So someone correct me if I'm wrong or just inform me, but was SmackDown last week supposed to actually be live and then it ended up being a review show, or was it always a review show?
It was always
I think
a review show.
I think it was always a review show.
Okay. It was no tickets sold or anything for it.
So Brock gets added to the match. It becomes a fatal 5-way, and Brock is our new WWE champion. I guess my first question would be like, how do we overall feel about what happened before we get to Raw? Because Big E is no longer our champion, and I think somebody listed out what his championship reign looked like, and I went, "Oh boy, that's not great," and he deserves more than that. So how do we feel about this? Could we have done something different with Brock? Did Brock need to be put into this match? Couldn't we have done something else? It just feels like we pivoted real hard to get the championship off of Big E.
No. I think this is I say no to could we pivot to something else? No, I think this is the way. I think this is what we were supposed to go, or the road we're supposed to go. If something happens, you have to replace it with something bigger, right? Brock Lesnar going into the fatal 4-way turned into a fatal 5-way for the WWE Championship. 1, makes it a bigger match. 2, instills that you have a main event on the biggest show of your year. So like this is supposed to kick off your year. This was Nick Khan's baby, right? Like this was the thing that he pitched. Saturday pay-per-views for big shows. This is it. You can't not have Brock Lesnar on it. And then you can't not have him win. Like I'm sure he was going to win against Roman Reigns, right? Also, this to me smells like a unification of titles at Mania. If you want to sell out 2 nights at 85,000 people in Dallas, one of those nights needs to be the biggest match you can make. And if you're not calling Hollywood for Rock, or if you're not having John Cena come back, or if you're not banging on a door for Stone Cold Steve Austin to have one more match, or if you're not pulling Shawn Michaels up from NXT, it's not happening. Like, unless you have a unification match with Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. By the way, I'm not for that unification match, by the way, but
yeah,
it's a money match.
Yeah, I agree that the match should happen. Maybe not unification. As mentioned in the chat, I do think title for title would work, but that is essentially unification. And then what do you do when someone wins both of the belts and you have to, someone else has to lose it and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is the big money match for Mania. Like, that's why I think they, in a way, kind of rushed, but not really rushed Lesnar Lashley, which people have been clamoring for years. So at least we'll be getting that at the Rumble, and Reigns Lesnar at Mania is the surefire bet
For sure.
Oh, so on Monday we had Brock come out with the championship and basically say, "Bygones are bygones, Mr. Heyman. Thanks for doing all the. Thank you for being a friend.
Thank you
R.I.P.
for
Aw.
being a friend.
They're singing along to it right now. So everything is forgiven. And then Paul Heyman cuts a promo that I think only Paul Heyman is allowed to get away with. I think he said something to the effect of, "I haven't been Roman Reigns' advocate for a week, and he already contracted COVID."
Karma is a bitch.
Yeah. And then he proceeded to run down all of the people that were going to be in a now the original Fatal 4-Way was going to be on the on Monday Night Raw. He ran down all the opponents, basically said nobody talks about MVP, which was a heavy shot. It was shoot week for sure on Monday Night Raw. But I just want, like, me personally, I really like that Paul Heyman took the time to say how important Big E was. In my opinion, I thought that was great. That was something that I didn't know I needed to hear, but it was just nice to, like Brock said, acknowledge me. It was nice for someone to acknowledge Big E and his contributions, not only to WWE, but beyond that. And I enjoyed that, but I would still like him to be the champion. But it was still a nice little moment. So what do we think of the Paul Heyman Brock? Thank you for being a friend. Power hour. I don't know what to call it.
I was pissed the hell off at that. I thought it was great, but I thought, why couldn't it took us to get heel Roman for us to get this version of Brock when they've been trying to do this for the last like 7 years, right? Like this, and to have Brock cut pro, it was all fantastic and craft, like amazing. But I was pissed the hell off that this backhanded comment, and I know it was generally meant, like it was genuinely meant by Paul Heyman, and that was basically Paul Heyman being the voice of the office to the audience, to us, to the universe, about Big E. But it's bullshit. Like, you do not give this man was on every single like fight weekend. He was on every single college football weekend. He was on promos. He was doing all the things champions do and spreading the word while he was being poorly booked. And at the same time, the man that beat him not only didn't beat him one-on-one, but the same man that beat his group member, Kofi Kingston, in like 7 seconds. Like, it's a travesty all in all. Like, it was just a backhand compliment. It's like, yeah, man, look, you're really great. You're really cool. You did the best you can do. Sucks that had to happen to you because you're just such a great guy. It was the same shit they did to Kofi Kingston. And so it just made it like, it just infuriated me even more. And I know, Pingo, me and you talk about this, and we, talk about Hangman and Big E. I felt like these two champions are the champions that we need for right now, that represents us as a generation. This generation that's riddled with anxiety, overcoming mental health, overcoming all of these all of these life hurdles. And this is the time. This is how you cheat. This is how cheat, but this is how you treat these champions. Not only do you book them poorly on both shows, but also you strip the title from one for now. Like, I was upset. I was just through the fucking roof.
Yeah, I probably would have felt better if, let's say, if Heyman did give that same speech, but it was someone else taking the pinfall on day one. I would have accepted that. But it's the fact that Big E took the pin and then Heyman had to go and say that. It's like, in my opinion, Rollins was the open guy to take that pinfall. He wouldn't have suffered at all by that loss, and it would have helped his character as being like Seth freaking Rollins. It took 4 other men to beat me, including Brock Lesnar, who I beat at WrestleMania, and he could have ran with it. But what do you do when Big E loses? Like, Big E had the momentum, well, whatever momentum he had based on the crappy booking, and then you just completely squash whatever momentum he had. So it's like, yeah, I agree. Like, they could praise him all he want in Heyman's promo, but we all know how it looks. It's just backhanded and it'll get swept under the rug. And it's like, oh, he said a nice thing. Let's move on.
So I have the stats here. Big E won the title on September 13th. He then lost to Roman in a triple threat on 9/20, and the Bloodline in trios on 9/20. Lost to the Usos by countout on 10/10. Lost to Rollins Usos on November 15th. Lost to Roman at Survivor Series. Lost to Owens by DQ on November 29th. Lost to Lashley on December 13th. Loses title to Brock on day one.
Well, he did win. He did beat Lashley in a cage match. He did beat Kevin Owens in a cage match.
I'm just saying, if you look at his,
I know that says a lot of losses, but at least put the wins on there. The 2 to 13, like
the two. That's still not a great batting average.
Not at all.
So we had the Fatal 4-Way, and now at Royal Rumble, we're getting the match that a lot of us have thought we would be getting for a while. Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship at Royal Rumble. How do we feel about this being the match? Are we hyped for it? Do we care?
Yes. I mean, I would rather this be a Mania match and have Big E go one-on-one against Brock and give us 15 minutes of Brock and E slapping effing meat. But Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar is no second fiddle to anything. This is a match. This is rare that WWE could say literally first time ever, even throughout their prime, right? Like, this is the moment of making or breaking Bobby Lashley. Like, this could be his Hall of Fame run right here.
What do we think about this? Do we think, with Mike's comment here, Brock Lashley doesn't need a belt? Do we agree with that?
Absolutely. No, it doesn't need a belt. I agree.
So it could have just been a match, and
absolutely,
Big E could still be our champion. It'd be the greatest time.
Big E could have been champion.
The only thing that I could
Goldberg, yeah.
That's the only reason. That's the only reason why I could see Big E like losing being validated if he faces Goldberg, title or non-title at Mania. But I don't think we're gonna get that.
Yeah, but then like what now? What's the purpose of you got something with Bobby Lashley versus Brock? He's been calling him out. They have an interaction between the Fatal Five, but what's Goldberg just gonna come out and say?
You're next.
Yeah.
What he usually does, basically.
You're next.
With no title? I'm saying, but like to Big E, like, you don't have a title, but you're next. Yeah.
I mean, at this point, he fought Dolph at SummerSlam that one year, so anything's possible.
This is very true.
Anything is possible. And one thing that is going to be possible, maybe not next week from the wording on our little promo here, Alexa Bliss will be making her return. This says Alexa Bliss's journey back to Raw, which leads me to believe this is going to go on till Royal Rumble.
Yes.
I assume we're going to get a series of vignettes here. do we think we see the return of the original Alexa Bliss, or are we still going to move forward with this fiendish character? What do you think these vignettes are going to be leading up to her return?
I think we're gonna get the what was her name? Like
The goddess.
not Princess Bliss, the goddess. I think we're gonna get the goddess Alexa Bliss back. Her posting her GIF on Twitter of the old goddess, not the twisted Bliss. I think we're gonna end. Also, it's right on time. It is the perfect time because as you've seen, we're getting the same swirling pot in the women's top line title. Liv didn't get the title, right? So you got to have something new injected into the Raw women's division, and I think Bliss coming back is at its perfect peak. Now, granted, I just want to see Beth Phoenix actually beat big time Bex, to be honest. What Virgo? What was the name? Vincent Verbex or something like that.
Oh, her. I can't remember.
At another time, I want to go on a soliloquy that Becky Lynch is putting on a Hall of Fame run, and that we haven't seen the likes of since. I don't know. We're talking levels of like Rock, Hogan, Austin, Cena, Randy Orton, and I got a lot of ammunition to back that up. But Jimmy, Alexa Bliss.
It's Vincent Van Goat, by the way.
Vincent Van Goat. Oh my God! Come on.
Yeah, I think Alexa is going to be brought back as the goddess. So I think basically we're just going to see a bunch of videos and vignettes of her like coming to terms with who she really is, and she sheds the dark Alexa character, and the playground is gone and whatnot. So it's like her like shedding the Fiend's influence, even though you can't say the Fiend anymore.
Right.
But yeah, the real question is,
was she?
What?
Would she light somebody on fire? Was she gonna light her former self on fire?
Oh, like
she could burn Lily.
Well, Lily's all ripped up and
burn the
right.
remains.
So basically, Lily getting all ripped up was basically the emergence of, or the reemergence of the goddess. So she burns the remnants of Lily, and then you have old Alexa Bliss back. But the question is, who will return actually on TV first, Alexa or Veer?
No, she'll bring Veer with her.
We solved it, guys.
Hey, where are you going? He's like, Raw keeps moving. I don't know where to go. Hop on in, and then it's like a Muppet style. Yeah, WWE, hire me.
Send Veer, huh? On WWE,
send
Veer.
That is not it. Okay, I think one thing, like, do we feel like it would have been cooler if she had just re-debuted at Rumble with no hype as a surprise?
Absolutely. We yearn for these the Royal Rumble this year is going to go from 30 people down to 50. Matter of fact, they may just combine the women and the men's Royal Rumble. They may just say 30 humans in one in one ring, but men and women can't touch when they're in the same ring together. Like, because they just have nobody. We saw the list of top talent that they released. Who is going to be in the Rumble? Veer's going to be in the Rumble. That's what
they send him.
Like,
that's what they'll send him. Yes.
That's what they're saying. It's nobody of people that we could actually be like, they may win. Not this year.
Not this year.
Unless we hear, be yourself, you can't be no one else. Dun, dun. Gotta tell you, gotta give them hell. Just burning straight through my heart. This rebel heart.
I can't. I forgot that you sang that song.
I did. That was me. That was me, guys.
Beautiful. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're talking about the whole. I know you were joking, but combining the Royal Rumbles because everything feels very depleted. I mean, speaking of SmackDown, everybody's hurt. Everybody's hurt. Everyone's getting released. People are just getting title shots one day, they're gone the next. And people are people are getting injured on house shows. Why are we running house shows? That could be a whole nother question. So some of our competitors have COVID and they're out. Some of them have neck injuries. So we want to talk about what's going on SmackDown. We have Roman Reigns, who is the Universal Champion. And one of his, I would say, probably biggest upcoming opponents could have been Drew McIntyre, but he's got a neck injury.
Yep.
And now that seemingly Brock is on Raw, that's out of the picture as well. So where do we think the head of the table looks to next, or who looks to the head of the table next as the next opponent for him?
You know, everybody I keep thinking about has went to Raw or has had some type of title shot already, right? And the only person that I could really see is, man, like they go back to the well with Xavier Woods, like the whole time. I think that's the only person that's on that level, because you got Shinsuke tied up, but he already did Shinsuke. He already did Cesaro. He already did like Ricochet. Like it's who does Roman, and then Brock isn't there. So now it's just going to be a thing of whoever is there to take up that space. It's literally just to take up that space until you get back to Brock versus Roman. And I think now we're in the same position that we were in during the pandemic when we were waiting to get Brock versus Roman. So it's really tough, man. It's tough when everybody is gone. Unless be yourself, it can be no one else. Bum, bum. You gotta give them hell. It's burning straight through the dirt. This trouble heart, this trouble. Ba, 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 no.
I half expect him to just show up as the fourth box when you do that. I just half expect it. Just pops up. What the hell?
Don't think I don't want to get that to happen now.
I will. If that happens, I'm gonna tell you right now, 2022. If that happens at any time, I'm caught. That would be the last show that I do, because it's getting no higher than that. No higher than that. Well, unless I do boom and then Adam Cole pops up, then I'm leaving.
Oh man! All right.
Or like we get Nixon to come on the show, and then as you're about to say bye, Tegan, she pops up.
I say bye, Nixon now. I say bye, Nixon. Respect. It's not just it's two great people, just two great individuals.
So, I will throw the question over to you, Jimmy. Like in the women's division, Sasha just got hurt. It's kind of already feels depleted over there. Who steps up to face Charlotte next?
I mean, the only thing I can think of is that if you hotshot Naomi back into the picture, kind of like as an Adam Pearce going, you know what, you've given enough crap to. Or tell Sonya Deville that you've given enough crap to Naomi. She's worked her way into this. She deserves it. And then you have the feud with Naomi. That'd be great. But then I could also see, like, randomly, because they have no one, they just shove Xia Li into that. At this point, nothing is off the table at this point. They're so depleted and people are injured. It's just like, it's basically throw shit at the wall, see what sticks. And if it works, it works. You go with it. You have two options right there. With it being face anyway.
Tony was so it. And I mean, I get it.
Tony was it, and they blew that. We've had our own conversations with that. Like, I don't even know if it's been mentioned on the show yet, but geez, I mean, she had every reason in the world to leave. Honestly, I don't blame her at all.
I don't either. Just the timing was. She just had the shot.
Also it was a main event. I spoke about and just said being burnt out is a thing, and doing something for so long since you're doing something every day for since she was 19, even younger than that, touring the world, trying to have a life. It's a lot on that, right? And I just don't understand why you're running house shows and burning out your talent, like, to no avail. Like, for what? Like, for what purpose? We literally just seen that one main evented, gotten her, like, flew herself home and was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
The other got injured, and we don't know how severe this injury is, but to the point where somebody that never gives us information, never gives us true information, felt the need to get on Twitter to say, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you're doing to your top talent that's going into the biggest 2-night WrestleMania ever. Like that, all to help sell those tickets and move those tickets. But, again, just
what a great shirt too. Someone told her she had a great shirt, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Great.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
The person that was asleep behind her.
Yeah. That's a funny thing. It's like, I definitely didn't want to be the guy wearing a wrestling shirt with the wrestlers, but I love how it's just her. She's just like, I'm going to wear a Terry Funk shirt. It's like, damn, you're awesome.
Should have wore a wrestling shirt.
Oh man, should have worn a wrestling shirt. Well, Neeson, you mentioned people getting burnt out. WrestleKingdom Night 1 was last night. And I don't know. People have watched the stream know that I love WrestleKingdom. I stay up since WrestleKingdom 9. I've been watching it live, no matter what day it is, no matter what time it is. Middle of the week, I stay up and I watch it, and I do it. I think I tweeted 3 nights this year. I said this was from 4 years ago. People ask me why I stay up all night to watch all of WrestleKingdom, and my simple answer is for the fucking banter of it all.
Yes.
And it's great. You hear the WrestleKingdom theme, you're good to go. You're excited. They do the little rumble thing at the beginning.
Yep, they did that.
And then the show starts. We're two nights, technically 3. The third night is Noah versus New Japan. I'm very excited for that still. But man, let me tell you, I watched Shibata Ren Narita, which was the 4th match. They said, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back. And I said, no, I won't. And I went to bed. I went to sleep. I did not watch the last 4 matches because what they gave to me in the first half was not WrestleKingdom caliber, in my opinion. We opened the show. I don't want to go over everything. Neeson, I know that you watched. Did you watch most of it and then watch all of it today?
I did not finish watching it because, like we talked about, it just didn't reel me in. It was no real excitement to what I was watching. Then I ended up falling asleep during the 6-man with Will Ospreay and
the Empire and
the Empire versus the Lesnar, yes.
Empire.
And I fall asleep.
It was not great.
I mean, to me, it just seems like a very New Year's Dash card.
Yes. Yeah, it did seem very much like a New Year's Dash. Like, this was stuff that was happening was like, could have set this up. We could have set this up for days ago. We could have set this up. They had 2 shows before Christmas. We could have set up the 6-man tag in which Tanahashi gets so upset that he gets DQ'd, and then it's like, oh, wow, that's crazy. He's going to have that no DQ match in a couple of days. But they took time to do that on Wrestle Kingdom. And it was just a waste. And I listen, Show versus Yo, they built it as like this big feud. They're finally going to have a big one-on-one match at the biggest show of the year. And I wanted to check what restaurant Yo had reservations at, because that dude looked like he wanted to be anywhere but at Wrestle Kingdom. That match was subpar.
Yeah.
And I think Neeson, because I said, man, this match was bad. And Neeson's like, okay, I was afraid to say anything because I was wondering if it was just me. And no, it wasn't you. And another thing I noticed is I have Twitter up. That's why I keep looking up, because I'm like looking for breaking stuff. I don't know why.
Well, you know why.
My timeline, I have a wrestling specific, just, a bracket that has all my wrestling people in it.
Mm-hmm.
Dead. Like nothing. Like there were people that were like, is this show even happening? Like no one's saying anything. I remember like 3 years ago when New Japan was, the hottest thing ever. Like I had people in like my baseball feed being like, what the hell is everybody up at 3 a.m. for? What is going on right now? Why are all these people talking about what is Wrestle Kingdom?
Yeah.
And the vibe is not there. The vibe is not there. And I'm telling you, it's almost 8:00 over here. It starts up again, I believe, at 11 o'clock over here. And I might not even watch it live. And that makes me super sad. I'm very sad. Neeson, I know you signed up to watch it live because you were excited. I was excited too. I was like, hell yeah, Neeson signed up. He's going to watch it live. This is going to be great. Are you going to watch live tonight or no?
Boba Fett comes on tonight, so I will definitely be watching Boba Fett rather than Wrestle Kingdom. It's nothing to make me say I need to miss the Book of Boba Fett over Wrestle Kingdom. So that's what I'll be watching. Also, quick question. Why the camera's on? Hey, Jimmy, are we getting it assembled for, I don't know, Eternals, Hawkeye, Spider-Man, anything? God damn it.
Assembled already came out for Hawkeye, did it not?
No, it did not.
I thought we put it out last week. But yes, Eternals is done too. It's just not out on the platform.
Okay, great. All right.
Eternals comes on when the movie comes on the platform.
Yeah. So in a couple weeks. Okay, great. Okay, cool. That's all. These are things that's more important than Wrestle Kingdom at the moment. That's how much Wrestle Kingdom I paid for it, and it did not keep my attention, and I'm very upset. Canceling my subscription after Tuesday. I
would much rather try to avoid spoilers for Boba Fett than spoilers for Wrestle Kingdom.
Dude, I woke up this morning and Lauren's like, "What time did you come to bed?" I was like, 1:30, and she looked at me like, "Did you get sick? Like, what happened?" And I was like, it just wasn't good. And most of the day, it's just been me like sitting at my desk being like,
"You said it just wasn't good."
Why was it so bad? Like Naito came out, and I was like, okay. Like I just don't care. I think I need to take a break from New Japan. I think is what it is. I think that's what needs to happen. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think we talked about it.
Nope.
Neeson and I talked about it earlier, where my whole thing is nobody's making you watch Monday Night Raw. Well, nobody's making me watch New Japan. So I think I'm gonna take a break. I'm probably, still gonna watch Strong because Strong is a much better product than Proper.
Ooh. Remind me of NXT and Raw back in the day, remember NXT
and, go check out my my Jay White interview at youtube.com/that #show TV.
Hey,
Go
there
check
goes
that
friend of
out.
the show. Friend of the
He
show.
knows. He knows they need him.
He knows.
He'll really know. He'll look at the timeline and be like, "Oh, I thought, did Wrestle Kingdom get canceled?" They might as well have, honestly. We'll see. I mean, so we're gonna take a break. We're gonna champion Noah and Dragon Gate and DDT and Shimmer, not Shimmer, Stardom and Shimmer too. Why not? Just a whole bunch of other stuff, because it's like it wasn't great. I was not having a good time. It's not having a great time. Another person who is not having a great time, you wouldn't know it, because they haven't really said anything after this. Good old TK took to Twitter last week on the it was day one of 2022, and well, we're already acting a fool. So Big Swole, as we know, it was a quiet release too. I feel it wasn't like a big deal or anything. She had that interview with Fightful that basically said, there are some problems. Here are the problems. And Tony Khan lost his mind. And in the same breath as tweeting, how diverse the brand is, he says, I let Swole's contract expire because I felt her wrestling wasn't good enough. Street fight tonight. The internet collectively lost its mind, rightfully so. I mean, get off Twitter. There's a lot of other things you as a billionaire could probably be doing. And that is an absolute, I believe it's called missing the point. Completely, I feel. Neeson, you and I have spoken a little bit about this. How you feeling?
It's not even missing the point. It's also like, it's first reading the room. Like he comes onto Twitter, and of all places, out of all places you can say, not a interview, not one of those little weird infomercial joints with Tony Schiavone. You come on to Twitter, and again with this backhand shit, you say, people forget that one, I'm a person of color, and then also, here's all the black people that are wrestling. She just isn't good enough. Now, I have no problem with your opinion on the professional wrestling, Tony. Like, that's fine. You could think someone's not good enough. But just, I don't know, what was it, less than 6 months ago, maybe like 3 months ago, you were just saying how great of a wrestler she was, and the reason why you didn't extend her contract, because again, everybody who's under a 3-year contract with an option to extend to the 5-year. The reason why you didn't extend it because you mutually agreed that mental health was first, and that she wanted to go take some time off and step away. This is what you came out and said in black and white. So now it's her wrestling isn't good enough. Street fight tonight, like we're just gonna overlook that, and that you're gonna sandwich, you're gonna stack it with the black people that are actually in prominent positions, but not really. Like, you don't know the tone, you can't read the room that everybody on Twitter has been talking about two things with AEW. One, the female wrestling and opportunities not getting spotlighted. Hell, guys, go watch the end of the year show. Me and Justin got into it because no one could actually answer my question, is that who else is on a level of Britt Baker? No one. Why? Because they have not taken the time to build them. And the second biggest thing that Twitter talks about with AEW is, I don't know, diversity at the top of the card. We're not talking about diversity in the backstage. We're not talking about people that are wrestling just on TV. We're talking about diversity at the top of the card. And don't give me that bullshit TBS tournament that's been happening for I don't know how damn long and no one cares about. Like, it was just so misleading, backhanded, and just tone deaf. And then you have and not saying they did this, but then you have your black wrestlers actually come out and release press statements saying they were good, they're good family member. Bro, now you're reading the wrong room. Nobody is everybody's saying all lives matter. What the hell is going on? What's going on? Please understand. All we're saying is diversity at the top matters. And this is how one person sees it, a former employee of you. So instead of acknowledging and understanding and actually saying, hey, I understand this is how you see and this is how you feel. How can we rectify that, et cetera, et cetera? Is anybody else feeling this way, et cetera, et cetera? You put her down.
And I mean, I would like to point out that one of the reasons that Britt Baker is where she is today is because of that feud with Big Swole.
And y'all got me defending Big Swole.
And I know that I think we all have kind of been like, I don't know, like throughout the AEW career, but we respect the person and we respect, why they left and how they are feeling. And yeah, that's another thing. Like Big Swole is one of the reasons why Britt Baker got to where she is now because of that feud with that they had. I believe it was at the end of last year. It was during the pandemic, or you know what I mean, when we had no fans. So Jimmy, how you feeling about this? And also I want to how do we feel about how Lio Rush started on Twitter, and then how I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like he might have walked it back a little bit.
You're actually going to have to fill me in, because honestly, like with the past couple of weeks, I've just been like, I've been kind of keeping an eye on, but kind of distancing myself from wrestling just because, like, to give myself that break. You were talking about it with WrestleKingdom. I needed it overall. So as far as what Tony Khan said, I'm like, what would have been great if he just didn't say anything. Like, what? I don't understand why he felt the need to defend himself. You had Swole just voicing her opinion on how she viewed things, and she had every right to do that. I don't understand why he felt the need to knock her down because of that. Because it's like, hey, here's one person. Like, if you say nothing, you're not bringing this to the spotlight. Like, now he just amplified her voice even more, like, so if anything, it just validates her statements even more so. But anyway, I don't even know what happened with Lio Rush. I just heard people talking about Lio Rush, but what did he say? Because, like, Lio, I know, he goes back and forth between retirement, so I never know what he's doing.
He says, I'm not cool with any. This is from Twitter. I'm not cool with any of this shit, to be honest. If nobody says something, then I will, because this is fucked up and I'm pissed off. And then he tweeted out, apologize in all caps, and added Tony Khan and AEW. And then I do not know what day this is.
It was like the following day.
It was the
maybe even like later that night.
It looked like it was the following. The first reply to his is a YouTube video entitled "Don't Press Send," where he basically says, "I'm proud to work for a boss in a company that tried to make these strides, even though less than 24 hours ago you're like, you need to apologize because this is ridiculous," which we have not gotten a formal apology yet about it. So,
well, at this point, which is worse, that or what Samurai Del Sol tweeted with Brody at this point? It's like,
oh god, this is much worse.
People are just not thinking about what they're tweeting, and I don't know. I think it's funny that it's become more of an AEW thing right now than a WWE thing. I don't know if it's because WWE superstars are more careful about their PR or whatever, but like these people who are working for AEW, like they're just not thinking at this point. Like, what's going on? Like, I don't understand like why they feel the need to voice anything that isn't related to them or their character at that point. I understand like wanting to defend your company, but this was not the time to do it. You didn't have to say anything.
Neeson.
It makes like going over this, it's making me just more upset because why doesn't nobody see it or get it? Like, this woman just voiced she voiced her reality, and everybody is trying to shit on her reality. And instead of actually, like Jimmy, you said, by giving credence to it, like it amplified her voice, but it's not even amplifying her voice. They're literally suppressing her voice with Hobbs coming out, putting out press releases, Leo Rush backtracking on statements. Tony Khan not saying anything. He should come out and apologize and for attacking someone that stated their reality and not even being malicious about it. Just saying like my daughter did stop watching me because she didn't see people that looked like her. Like, hey, let's read all of it first instead of seeing a headline, maybe, Tony. Like, that's what it seems like. And so I'm just sitting here like, how after, I don't know, one of the most civil rights movement in our generation, Freedom Summer of 2020, are people just that blind? And I say people across the board. Like, how? Like, it just boggles me, man. So I'm just sitting here trying not to be that guy, but I'm turning into that guy because it's just like, how are we here? Like, how are we still here?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. It feels like what Tony should have done instead of reacted was listened, because that's what we're supposed to do, is listen and then do better. Just listen and do better.
I don't know. Remember when the Divas had that match and it was like 20-something seconds, and then Twitter said give Divas a chance, and I don't know, the old man actually tweeted and said, I'm listening, give us some time. And then what, in like 6 months time, we had a triple threat at WrestleMania, changed from the Divas title to the women's title, and we had literally the greatest female wrestlers of our generation changing the game. Like, that's shutting up, listening, and doing better.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I don't know. I don't know. But they for sure need to do better. I think there's also just a lot of like people don't like to criticize AEW for some reason when there's plenty. There you go. Well, you know what? This was a great AEW moment, I will say, because it gave us that picture. But yeah, I think there's stuff to criticize about that company, and I think people just need to shut up and listen, and then do better. Shut up and listen, and then do better. That's actually going to be my hashtag, so I don't take up too much time. That'll just be shut up and listen, and then do better is my hashtag. Let's get to your guys' hashtags of the week. Neeson, I will start with you.
All right, so my hashtag of the week is going to be Big E Bivens. Yes, I hinted at it at the top, but now we're talking about it. Look, Big E is on Raw, and he's sandwiched right in between Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman and Bobby Lashley and MVP. Now, Big E can hold his own in the ring with those two, and on the mic he can, he could joust with the best of them, but why not add some extra firepower. I don't know. Why not add a diamond? Why not add Malcolm Bivens forever on your side for Big E and Malcolm Bivens? Have Malcolm Bivens be your mouthpiece moving into WrestleMania season. I'm talking this is Sasha's season. I'm talking this is big time Beck's season. I don't know. Hopefully it's Bayley's season. And it could be Big E Bivens season. And look, we've seen him doing gold standard work on the sticks down in NXT 2.0. And the Lord knows that he deserves more than just being on Tuesday nights with a paint gun splatter logo over there with people barking, oh, all the time. Look, he deserves better than that. He deserves better than having to manage good old Shitty Boots Roddy. Okay? Put him next to a main event, hemp swinging, big meat slapping Big E on the way to WrestleMania. And Lord knows, not only Twitter will go up, but ratings will go through the roof. Big E Bivens, hashtag of the week. Let's make it happen.
There you go. All right, Jimmy, what do you got for us? Hashtag of the week.
Well, considering I haven't really watched Raw or SmackDown or Day One, and NXT is probably the first non-AEW wrestling I've watched in a while, just based on what I saw on the show, couldn't care less about this guy. Everything that they're doing just makes me not interested. He has no charisma. He needs time to learn. So my hashtag of the week is Yawn Wagner.
Wagner.
My God. That's a great hashtag.
This follow-up would be hashtag Omicron Wagner, because I care about avoiding him as much as I do COVID. So
my God. Well, I think those are that's the primitive hashtag of every week is shoot week. Hashtag shoot week. My goodness. Well, this has been, man, what a show. We covered a lot. If you're staying up to watch WrestleKingdom tonight, why? No, I'm just kidding. Have a good time if you are doing that. I won't be, or I might be. Who knows? I'm all over the place with wrestling right now. Where can everyone find you, Neeson, on the social medias?
Guys, just go ahead and find me on the Twitter. It's right there on the Twitter, YRF Squad. And then you can find me everywhere else.
Jimmy?
This right here, Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, same for me, right over there. I'm also on Twitch under JP Thrice as well. Come on over. We're playing the show and other games.
Come on over, baby.
It's a good time. Or so I've been told. All right, guys. Well, wow. Oh. That's great.
This is like the music video, right?
Yeah.
This is the music video. All right, guys. Make sure you check out Facebook.com/THS Wrestling News, YouTube.com/THS Wrestling. Nope. YouTube.com/that hashtag show TV, Twitch.tv/that hashtag show, and Instagram.com/THS.wrestling. But most importantly, that hashtag show.com for everything trending in geek pop culture. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, Nixon. Bye, Tony. Bye, Nixon and Tony. Goodbye. Also, Got the Butcher looks dope.